Another Hong Kong pro-democracy news outlet shuts down after a police raid and arrest. Hong Kong CNN visits. Hong Kong pro-democracy media outlet Stand News has shut down after National Security Police raided its office and arrested 7 people associated with the publication on Wednesday. It's yet another blow to dismissing press freedoms in the city. The independent news website announced on its Facebook page that it has ceased operations and dismissed all employees effective immediately. The statement said that Stand News will immediately stop updating its website and social media account, which will be removed within days. That announcement comes after police arrested several current and former senior staff members associated with the publication, including pop star Denise Ho. At the news conference Wednesday afternoon, Steve Lee Kwai-wah, senior superintendent of the Hong Kong Police's National Security Department, said that the arrests were connected to the multiple seditious articles published by the outlet between July 2020 and November 2021. Lee also said that police raided the news outlet office in the city's Kwai-wah area and froze about 61 million Hong Kong dollars, $7.8 million worth of assets from the company. Some 200 police officers were involved in the news raid, where they seized journalistic materials, according to the government statement earlier Wednesday. The arrest included Ho and Margaret Ng, a former pro-democracy lawmaker and prominent barrister, both former members of the news outlet's board of directors. Also arrested were former Stand News chief editor Chang Pui-kuen and acting chief editor Patrick Lam, according to the Hong Kong Journalists Association called HKJA. While the initial government notice released Wednesday referenced a conspiracy to publish seditious publications allegations that stem from a colonial-era crimes ordinance, the police involved with the Stand News case were national security officers. A turbulent year for the press. The arrest comes at the end of the turbulent year for press freedoms in Hong Kong, which dubs itself Asia's world city and once prided itself on being the region's preeminent international media hub. The city's once vibrant media landscape has withered since Beijing imposes a sweeping national security law on the city in 2020, which led to the shuttering of the fiercely outspoken pro-democracy outlet Apple Daily earlier this year. Senior director of Stand News, Lawson Chan Center is taken away by police officers in Hong Kong Wednesday, December 29th, 2021. Hong Kong Journalists Association is deeply concerned that the police have repeatedly arrested senior members of the media and searched the offices of the news organizations containing large quantities of journalistic materials within a year, the HKJA said in a statement Wednesday, adding that it argues the government to protect the press freedom in accordance with the Beijing law, the city's de facto constitution since 1997. Ron Sing, the deputy assignment editor of Stand News and the chairman of HKJA, was also taken away by the police, according to the association. Stand News had posted a video of police arriving at Chang's home for a raid earlier on Wednesday morning. Chang later told the local media in Hong Kong that he had not been arrested. Ho, the Cantonese pop star and prominent pro-democracy activist, was arrested at her home at 6 a.m. Wednesday, according to her assistant, who asked not to be named. Police spent over 2 hours at the singer's home and seized phones and computers, as well as her ID card and passport, her assistant told CNN Business. At the Standard News office on Wednesday, police gathered about 30 boxes of evidence. A press officer for the police at the site told CNN Business. Hong Kong authorities defended Wednesday's arrest as necessary to prevent bad apples from falsely representing themselves as media. Anybody who attempted to make use of media work as a tool to pursue their political purpose or other interests contravenes the law. Particularly offenses did endanger national security, Hong Kong Chief Secretary John Lee said when asked by reporters about the arrest at the unrelated press event. They are the evil elements that damage press freedom. Professional media workers should recognize that these are the bad apples who are abusing their position simply by wearing a false coat of media workers, Lee added. The stakes are high. The HKJA has continued to speak out in defense of press freedom, despite facing criticism from Hong Kong officials and the Chinese state media. The latest police actions came hours after the HKJA hosted its annual dinner on Tuesday, which has been delayed for more than a year due to coronavirus restrictions. We know that the stakes are high, but press freedom has been the backbone of Hong Kong's success, Chang said in a speech at the dinner. Hong Kong will always need a true as well as journalists. No matter how difficult the road ahead will be, the association will strive to never fail. Police officers stand guard during a raid at the Standard News office in Hong Kong. Founded after student-led demonstrations in Hong Kong in 2014, Standard News rose to prominence during the city's pro-democracy protest in 2019 with its breaking news coverage and critical editorial and opinion pieces. It was considered to be among the city's most outspoken outlets, often publishing hard-hitting reports even after the enactment of the national security law. It's the second independent media outlet targeted by national security officials after Apple Daily, which was shut down in June after hundreds of police officers raided its office, arrested executives, and froze its assets under national security charges. The raids on Standard News also come one day after Apple Daily founder Jimmy Lai was hit with the charge of conspiracy to print, publish, and distribute seditious publications, the same charge as what authorities are now accusing the Standard News affiliate of. Lei was sentenced to 13 months in prison this month for inciting or participating in the city's annual candlelight vigil to commemorate the Tiananmen Square crackdown last year. Authorities had declared that assembly illegal owing to coronavirus restrictions. Lei was already serving time in prison for other charges. A shockwave through Hong Kong. Speaking at the HKJA's annual dinner Tuesday, Chang described the arrest of Lei and his colleagues and the subsequent shuttering of the Apple Daily as the shockwave throughout the Hong Kong, which had a big impact on news workers who were still struggling in the front line every day. Chang also acknowledges the increasing difficulty for the HKJA to fill the positions at its executive committee due to concerns about their personnel safety and career perspectives. In fact, the position of vice chairman is still vacant and will remain so until November. It shows that many colleagues perceive that becoming an HKJA executive committee member could make one's life precarious, Chan said. In a statement Wednesday, the Foreign Correspondent Club in Hong Kong said it was deeply concerned over the arrest associated with Standard News. These actions are a further blow to press freedom in Hong Kong and will continue to chill the media environment in the city following a difficult year for the city's news outlet, it said. The national security law, which was drafted in Beijing and promulgated in Hong Kong last year, criminalized acts of secession, subversion, terrorism, and collusion with the foreign forces to endanger national security with a maximum sentence of life imprisonment for all four. Since the law's enactment, the city's pro-democracy camp have been virtually wiped out, with the prominent figures either in jail or in exile overseas. A series of civil groups have disbanded, and more recently, several universities have removed status promoting democracy or commemorating the Tiananmen Square massacre overnight, sparking concerns about freedoms on campuses. The Hong Kong government has repeatedly denied the criticism that the law has stifled freedoms, claiming instead that it has restored the order in the city after 2019 protest movement.